Alright everybody, for today's Let's Draw, we're going to learn how to draw superheroes. Alright, so I'm going to draw two superheroes today. I'm going to try to fit one on each side, and do your best to try to fit their whole body on if you can, but it's okay if you can't. If you can just get like their head and upper body, or even just the faces, that's fine. I'm going to start with my first person on this side. I'm going to draw their eyes. I think you can tell those are going to be girl's eyes, because they have little eyelashes there on the end. And I'm going to draw her face. With the jawline there. And then I'm going to draw her neck and shoulders. So I'm going to draw the neck here. And then shoulders. And I'm doing that first because then I'm going to draw her hair. I'm going to have her hair kind of coming down like that. But then it's also going to go behind her back where we can't see. So you just bring those lines all the way down. There we go. And my character here is going to be a character I call Betty Fly, and she has butterfly powers. So she can control like the wind, and she can fly without wings. Even though a butterfly has wings, it's kind of silly. But for her face mask, I'm going to draw it going like this at the top, kind of like a W shape. And then like this at the bottom, like an M. And that's kind of like a butterfly shape that makes up her mask. And I'm going to draw a little nose. And then her mouth. There we go. And I'm not going to draw the iris and pupil in the eyes, because a lot of times with the superheroes in the comics, they don't draw in those details. It just makes their costume seem more mysterious. Now I'm going to draw her arms. And I'm going to draw her arms to where like she has her hands resting on her hips. So let's do this left one first. I'll do her shoulder. Come down like that. And like that. And do the same thing for the other side. Right. And the reason I ended here on the forearms is now I'm going to add some gloves. So I'm going to do a little curved line on each one where the gloves start. And then I'm going to have her forearm go into where her hips are, just like this. Same thing over here. And it's okay if these things aren't perfect. We're going to try to make it look like she's resting her hands on her hips. But if you can't get them close enough when we're drawing the rest of her body, you can always, if you have a pencil, you can erase and kind of adjust them. But if not, it's okay. You can have her arms doing something else at her sides. You can just have them straight down if you want. So now I'm going to draw her hands. Draw little knuckles there. And then just a couple like fingers folded back like that. Do the same thing over here. Draw a hand, a little palm there, knuckles, and a couple fingers showing. And now I'm going to draw her abdomen. So we're going to draw starting from the back and then down to her waist, just like that. And I'm going to give her a butterfly belt buckle. So I'm going to draw a butterfly type shape for that. And I'm going to draw the lines for her belt right there on her waist. And then I'm going to draw like a butterfly shape here for her costume. And there's like a little line right here to show that where her chest is. So I'm going to draw another W shape, like that, and then another M shape, like that, to make like another type of butterfly shape there for her costume. And just so her gloves aren't plain, I'm going to do little U-type shapes on there. Sometimes certain butterflies, like monarch butterflies, have kind of what look like little O's or U-type curves shapes on the end with little white dots in them. So that's where my idea came from for that. And now I'm going to draw a skirt. So it can come down kind of straight like that. And I'm going to make it kind of wavy at the bottom. Maybe draw some lines in there to show where it's got, wrinkles in it. And then I'm going to draw her leg, her left leg, starting at the thigh, just like that. And then I stopped right at her knee here, because I'm going to draw the top of the boot, kind of like we did for the gloves, a line that goes past it a little bit there. It's kind of curved. And then draw her calves. And then I'm going to draw her foot, and I'm not going to put a lot of detail on the foot, so I'm just going to make like some long lines that kind of come out a little bit, and then come down to like a point, sort of like that. So it's like her big toe there at the point. And I'm going to add some of those little U shapes on the boot. Maybe I'll add like a couple little lines there to show that that's her knee. And I'm going to do the other leg. I'm going to have it kind of going to a point with this other foot. So I'm going to have that thigh start like here to the knee, the line for my boot, a couple little lines for where my knee's at, and I'm going to draw a line for my calf there, and then the other foot's going to kind of hide behind this foot. I'll draw some more U shapes on my boot. There we go. And just to top it off, I'm going to give her some antenna coming out here. And have them kind of twirl and twirl. There we go. All right. And the reason why her feet are kind of pointing down like that is because she's in mid-flight. Now, her superhero friend, I call him Bob Beetle. And he's got beetle powers, so he's going to be able to lift many times his body weight, and he has really tough skin. So over here for Bob Beetle, I'm going to start with his eyes. And then I'm going to draw his nose. And then I'm going to draw the line for his face, his jawline. He has a more squared off jaw. A typical superhero type jawline there. And I'll give him a little smile. And for him, I'm going to draw his antenna first, because his are going to be a little bit thicker than Betty Fly's. I'm going to draw them with a line that comes up and then in. Do some zigzags. Another line that goes up. Same thing for the other side. And it goes up and then in. Some zigzags. And another line up. And then I'm going to draw the top of his head, and then have that come down. Maybe put a little bump there for where his ear is hidden inside of a mask. And now we can draw his mask. And I'm going to kind of make it like still beetle themed. So I'm going to draw a little curve here above his nose. But then below each eye, make like a little, almost horn type shape, like a horn beetle, the little pinchers they have. And then I'm going to draw his neck, 2 lines for the neck. And maybe for him, I'll have like one of his arms up and kind of flexing. So I'm going to draw this little muscle here. I think it's a trapezius muscle. And then up to his shoulder muscle, bicep line. Then I'm going to draw a line for the inside of the forearm. Now, so I have as a guide, I'm going to draw the little elbow here and draw the outside of the forearm. And then draw the bottom of the upper arm, where like the tricep would be. And I'm going to draw his hand kind of like clenched, like he's flexing his muscles. So I draw a line that goes up a little bit and crossed. And this is like where the palm is. A couple little lines like that for the palm. And then I'll draw like one line here. It shows like a little finger tucked in there. Maybe like a little curved shape under there to show like where the palm is, not palm, the thumb is tucked in like that. So it'd be like from the other side. And then I'm going to draw maybe his other arm with his hand resting on his waist, like Betty Fly. So a little trap muscle, this shoulder, tricep down to his elbow, bottom of his forearm, top of his forearm, and then a bicep. All right. Now, from here, I'm going to draw the muscles coming down from his back to his waist. So I'm going to do like a really wide back on him for the big superhero muscles, and then have that come down almost straight into his waist. And we'll do like little lines here for like the collarbone, little line here for his shoulder. Oops, not that way though. Like, there we go. And have this line, these 2 lines for his chest, and then for his chest here. Line here for a bicep, and where it goes into the armpit there. Maybe like a little bit of lines there for the forearm muscles. And maybe I'll draw some lines here to show where the shoulder muscle is, and the bicep, tricep, forearm muscles. And I'm going to give him a belt buckle too. I'm going to make his like a beetle head, kind of like his mask. So the bow beetle belt buckle. Try saying that fast. Doing little lines for the belt line. I'm going to finish his hand so that I can finish the line for the belt here on the bottom. So I'll do a line there, line for the palm, the knuckles, have a couple of the fingers showing there. And I can finish my belt buckle. And now I'm going to draw like his lines for like where his rib cage is, just like that. Maybe some of the little muscles there on the side. And we'll give him little U shapes for his abs. There we go. And I might draw like a little bit of lines, a couple lines there for like where his neck is. All right. And then I'm going to add some stripes in to make his costume a little more interesting So I'm going to draw like a stripe here. There's two lines that are parallel to each other. Do the same thing over on this side. There we go. All right, and I'm going to put a big beetle shape on his the center here. So I'm going to do like a oval shape that comes down. And at the top have like the little pinchers. So that'll be like his symbol there. And then I'm going to draw his legs. So I'm going to come down to his waist and outside of his thigh. And then right there, beginning of the calf. But I'm going to stop right there because I'm going to do boots like we did on Betty Fly. All right, and then the next leg, inside of the leg, and then the next leg over here, and the inside of the leg, and then those little bit curved lines there for the boots. I'll draw a little bit of muscles there in the legs too. Just his knees, a couple of lines there for the knees. All right, and then for the boots, they might come down like that, like that. I didn't quite have enough room to draw out his feet completely, so that's okay. If you want, you can draw feet like that, so he's kind of maybe floating in the air too, or you can kind of make him flat, like he's standing. You can just leave it just like this if you like, but I'm going to just give it a hint of where his feet are at here. There we go. And for his boots, I'm going to do like kind of like some beetle pincher shapes at the top of them too. So like where this would be like the head and the little pinchers, just so there's something else going on there with the boots, make it more interesting. All right, so we have Betty Fly and Bob Beetle. I hope you enjoyed today's Let's Draw, and I hope to see you next time.